Привет всем! Продолжаем проходить вот. Не забываем подписываться на мой канал, ставить лайки, оставлять комментарии. Всем заранее спасибо.
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Well, we're not known for going where we're told, but we'll see what we can do.
Oh no! We should check to see he's all right.
I've never seen a more effective argument against blindly following a preordained plan.
Those big empty windows. Feels like the building's watching me. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
People will go to extraordinary lengths to define themselves, won't they? This is just a facade to hide behind.
Oh, Captain, something here don't feel right.
This place has the distinct feeling of a crypt.
Great work!
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter, This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Join me for a drink, Mr. Whoever you are. So who the devil are you? You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass to Gorgon. To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company. A severed arm. How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop? Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
The more lost we feel, the more we put on a show for others.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now? Thank you. But the people in my orbit come and go all the time. Occupational hazard. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback. Settling an old score. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
I don't believe you thought this through. Or much else, for that matter.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands. The man lost an arm. What are the odds of that happening twice? Of course, Gorgon is a treacherous place, and my own family's involvement with it has been fraught. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck. One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying. Why, indeed? To cover up their crimes? To discredit someone who knew too much? I'm hoping you can find out for me. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it. I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was. I don't know what would have made Mother happy. After a while, I stopped trying to find out. We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into a microscope. One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something. Typical night in the Ambrose house.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, ma'am. My dad was real dedicated to his work, too, but he always let me help. Made me feel, I don't know, special. Like I had something to offer. I wish you could have had that with your mother.
Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I don't know. And Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left. Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. I'll say no more than that. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret. I don't place bets on uncertain odds. Let's say I have a good feeling about you. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth, kicking and screaming, into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
Perhaps then you can put your mother's ghost to rest.
You do all that for me? I was hoping you'd take the job, but I didn't expect you to care. I believe you're the first person to ever side with me against the corporation. It's a refreshing change. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks. I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room. So if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound? The cash? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Believe me, that's enough. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels. Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but... thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
Don't worry about us. We're well versed in helping ourselves to anything that's not nailed down. Understood.
Oh my law, this is just like that episode of Virginia Yang, Girl Detective, where the old fella dies and his nurse inherits his house. What if we find a body?
Secret tunnel. Interesting architectural choice. Incoming!
We made it!
We are now in orbit above Gorgon.
Wow. Look at those stars. Don't it make you feel small in the best way?
The Gorgon facility is currently experiencing
got supplies if you need 'em. Is that what my thoughts sound like? Law, I've been standing near that alarm too long. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon's far reaches, there ain't no one round here liable to help you out. Let me know if you're looking for something particular. You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten. All right, you know you better than I do. Just be sure you watch out for the Marauders. That's the #1 thing. Oh, and the Mance. You watch out for Marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine. Only the meanest Marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite. He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles. No, you don't get it. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles. That and a rocket launcher. Did I not mention that? Right, sorry. He's got a rocket launcher. Couldn't say. He kills anyone who gets close enough to ask. Look, long story short, you do not fuck with Chuck. Best to... Yeah? The Marauder camp way out to the east. That's what I heard, at least. And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep a safe distance away. Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap Project Gorgon from years back. Thanks for turning it off, by the way. I'd have lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer. We tried. Couldn't persuade the control terminal to listen. No one round here is particularly mechanically inclined, and no one was gonna shut it down by force. That's for sure. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball. Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well. Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before. Could be awful useful if you're the violent type.
Let's have a chat. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Good. Look up. Now look down. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack. You can head on downstairs. Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. Rule number 2, wipe your feet on the way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong. Just don't ask me to dance. Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
That's us.
Yes, your presence screams high class.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And this is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars come to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate. Then venture. Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasty side effects. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10 to 1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar. If you're heading downstairs, order something sweet.
Oh, ugh. This place smells like Felix's birth.
A true den of iniquity. How refreshing.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be? So, you just wandered in for the genteel conversation. Suit yourself. I assume you're here for salvage. Even if I did, I ain't supposed to play favorites. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. The way he talked about the job, you just knew Lucky had hit pay dirt. Not that I was jealous. Around here, that sort of luck can be hazardous to your health. Awful shame about what happened to him. You really want to hear my story? Law, most everyone around here is sick to death of it by now. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp. No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle. I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business. 3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me. Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock. They say Adrenatime came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day. Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. I trust him well enough. There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the 2nd floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab. He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he was some kind of journalist. He got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get him. Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels to get left behind. He'll be all right. He's with the family now, and we take care of our own. He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender, not his human resources rep. If you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes that's all there is to it. Nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublight, but seems to know the lay of the land better than anyone. She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open to a side gig. Now that you mention it, I thought I saw those two sharing stories over a pint. Didn't think twice about it. I don't speak ill of the dead, but Leonora deserves better company. That Lucky was no good for her. What are friends for, eh? I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous. Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs. When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed where it fell, and all of it is up for grabs. Of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility. Until someone figures a way to crack it open, we're just sifting through dirt. You got it, bub. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge. Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
Most businesses in Halcyon are run by Sprats, but this is the first I've heard of it being openly acknowledged.
You think a Sprat could own Edgewater? Oh, imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat!
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules. Easy. His name's Matt. The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Sprat chase. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. The Sprat Shack's gone through a lot of title holders over the years. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what matters. Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential. Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble in my place. Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony, mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well-connected, and not everyone pays with bits. That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well-stocked with the essentials, by which I mean booze. Or maybe a sugar sprat pie? Damn it, we're out of those.
Are you my agent on the ground?
Sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain someone about a certain piece of merchandise. They're supposed to use a secret code phrase.
Can't help you. I'm just here to drink.
That's the code phrase. It is you.
Quiet down. You're making a scene. did you bring the payment?
I don't know.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine, you tangle-footed dimwit.
Bring it up, you two. I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
I risked my life sneaking around marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess? You make it outside!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats. Would you do me a favor and weigh in as a third party? I can use an unbiased set of eyes on the problem, and an outsider like you fits the bill. Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation. Oh, very formal. Freddy the Scab, freelancer for sublight salvage and shipping, same as my father before me.
Junkyard Trixie, also a salvage freelancer, though I've been at it longer than Freddy.
So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people. I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!" What if I were to sweeten the deal? Say the salvage is mine, and I'll give you a share of the finder's fee.
Bullshit. That ain't fair. When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me. Sorry, I won't speak out of turn again.
Anyway, that's my story, sir. I drew next in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Thank you. Blah, it's hard to get a fair trial in this sprat-fucked colony.
And this is the thanks I get for kindly offering to grease your palm? I swear, there's no justice anymore.
Here's a six-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change. I'll write to Lilia Hagen in the corporate office on Groundbreaker. She'll get some haulers to drag it away. It'll take a while. Nothing happens fast around these parts. But at least the salvage would get a good home. A little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over. Come and chat if you're ever feeling thirsty.
That's my captain.
Very diplomatic, Captain. Though fighting would be preferable to another conversation such as that.
You think the folks here like strangers? Because some of them are looking at us like, maybe not.
Surprisingly, this place exhibits an aesthetically pleasing use of space.
Jerome would have loved this place. You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type. You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far from over. Confidence. The scavengers around here, they're faking it. You're the real deal. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the marauders would eat me alive. Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress. It is to me, but apparently it's junk to Sublight. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled. Nowhere good, that's for sure. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. And a broken heart, that's what. This place is greedy. It took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here. No point in denying it, he died on this rock, likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms. I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know I have to accept it. You'd really do that for me? Law, and I'll bet you're worth 10 of those Sublight sprats. I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first. Yeah? That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure. He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think anyone could be lonelier than me. He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in one of the old buildings. I never saw it, so I just assumed he was talking himself up. He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy he kept in his room, but I declined, politely. He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a way. Sure thing. My condolences if you two were close. The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path.
Why'd you want to meet here anyway?
I thought we could have some fun in the ruins. Salvaging, like old times.
I don't know, Carol. Salvage is a young man's game. I'm just a clerk now.
Just a clerk. Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Oh, fine. At least buy me another round. Make it 2. Gotta find my courage.
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could... Nah, who am I kidding? Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system, pal, but you're welcome here. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook. Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
I prefer to think of it more as a way of life than a job.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone. Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said. Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around the edges. Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here. No shit? That's downright civilized of you. All right. One of them I stash in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance. You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room. The final one is in human inquiry and auditing. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room B. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant.
У нас фура застряла прямо под окном, блин. Сейчас так шумит хорошо. Супер.
Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse. Supplies came in, deadly chemicals went out.
Who told you that?
I worked here back in the day.
You're pulling my leg.
No, it's true.
What have you got there?
Adrenatime, I think. I found some in an old busted crate.
You're just gonna take some drug you found in the garbage?
It's not some drug. It's adrenatime.
I don't see a label.
If it wasn't safe, it wouldn't be in a syringe.
I can't argue with that.
Someone's in here. Oh well. It's coming back up again.
So, how you...
Я попробую перезагрузиться.
Might be the key Lucky mentioned. What strangeness have we involved ourselves in here?
Someone's in here.
What have you got there?
Huh, who's this? Holy shit, don't know. Oh, you... Some got in, spent real life and death shit. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an...
I prefer to...
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay. Told you I was a I was But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's right on... Look at me. Help me get my recordings back so I can... No shit? All right. I get... You'll find it. It's in the main lab storage room. It's tucked behind a pipe in Observation Room B. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly... Strength to your sword arm, friend.
Jerome would have loved this place. You don't look... You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journeys... You're kidding. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruin. Looking for something out there. Been paying sublet to... Well, my husband and I were... No. It is fine. When the... As soon as I wasn't looking... Jerome... Bro... This place... I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract. And... I don't have... Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite...
Hopefully, following in Lucky's footsteps doesn't result in us sharing his fate.
You think this place we're headed will tell us more about Gorgon? I wonder what they got up to here.
This dilapidated state of existence awaits all Halcyon. The board persists in their reckless disregard for anything but profit. Nicely done.
This unit is currently in wait cycle. Please return later. Error. Tilt alarm engaged. Entering emergency reconciliation mode. This unit will now engage Calamity Protocol. This unit is currently in wait cycle. Please return later. Have a better than natural day.
Great work.
This is so stupid. Georgie, you asshole. What are you doing? Hey, you got those drinks? Don't tell me it's glacial age again.
When did you become this picky? Beer's beer. Hey, what are we celebrating anyway?
1 year on assignment. Only 10,000 more to go.
No shit. And that makes it 1 year trapped in this goddamn closet.
1 year getting chewed out by Olivia Ambrose for doing our jobs.
1 year drinking stolen beer.
And 1 year as partners. In crime. Partners in crime.
Hey, you okay? Your face is all red. Let me get you some water. Hold on.
Partners, Georgie? Are you out of your mind? Get it together!
Incoming!
This will be over quickly.
Smell something.
Oh, this looks just like the abandoned parts of Edgewater.
This place is steeped in desolation and despair. The natural habitat of marauders.
Not even a scratch. Clever.
Done, Captain!
I'm ready for this!
Don't mess with us!
Sure would be a bad time for an earthquake.
This is my second month on Adrenatime. It's like the color came back. Like I was tuned to the wrong band all this time, and now the static's gone. I'm finally clear-headed, focused. There's so much I'm excited to do. I feel like me again. Side effects? I guess I've noticed people staring at me a lot more lately. Hard to talk to them sometimes. Feels like they don't get it. Maybe they just don't trust it. Or maybe they don't trust me.
Here they come!
All together!
Might I ask how you are faring, Ms. Holcomb?
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was untied.
You don't need to keep up appearances. You're among friends. We would never leave you behind.
I knew the OCI backwards and forwards. The Marauders got a way of finding every nook and cranny on this rock. OCI, fancy joint. Smells like Wentworth's and leather. A real slice of Byzantium. You don't set that up unless you're planning something big. Adrenatime? Sure. But something tells me there's more to the story. Got a hunch to follow up on near the old mines. I'm leaving this here, in case I gotta come back.
Initiating ocular measurement. Measurement complete. Ocular identification complete. Welcome, Clarence Mostly. Access granted. Welcome to the Office of Creative Incubation.
Mr. Thompson told me 100 times the cannery couldn't afford spare parts for Bess. All while Spacer's Choice was building this? They got one for Edgewater. Oh, it's just Saltuna. Come on, we got a volcano too.
Spacer's Choice is unreasonably proud of their low-quality fare, aren't they?
Adrena time brings out the hero in you.
Show your boss that you are prime, because you take Adrena time.
Understood. I'll keep my head down. Whoa, careful.
That's the last of them.
You're fast. Done.
I wonder what corporate drivel they shoveled in here.
About your test subjects, I assume you're trying new formulations on humans, correct? Where do they come from, Dr. Ambrose? They come from Tartarus, don't they?
They do.
Why do they offer this? Providing life-affirming employment to the indigent, the criminal, the criminally indigent? Well, that's a social good, don't you agree?
I have a staff meeting to attend. Excuse me.
Gonna find you!
Trouble incoming, Captain.
Look at us!
go.
Perhaps they should spend more time improving their products and less pampering themselves like this.
I knew I heard a little weasel sniffing about. You'd best go back the way you came. There's nothing for you here. Call me the Ghost of Gorgon, or its warden. This place is a graveyard. All that was done here should be forgotten and left to rot. Gorgon is the birthplace of marauders. We created them here, in this very facility. They are our misbegotten children, born of hubris and vanity.
This whole colony is a result of those two things. But marauders? Spacer's Choice really outdid themselves, didn't they?
That don't make any sense. How could marauders get to Edgewater from all the way out here?
They hold no fondness for trespassers. I've placed the facility under emergency lockdown to keep them safe. Let the marauders die in peace, or I will make certain that you die with them.
Isn't there always? Though I do admit, this is quite a lot to process.
My friends and neighbors became marauders, Captain. They hurt a lot of folks, and Edgewater still ain't the same. If this place caused that, I want to know. Ugh. Ain't no one should have to go like that.
This looks exceedingly painful.
Gonna find you.
Here they come!
Everyone all right? Incoming!
We make quite a team, my friend. Try me?
I wonder how the comm tower we're looking for will push us lower into this pit of corporate wrongdoing.
I sure hope that spooky person on the screen. Eyes up! Not even a scratch! Anyway, I sure hope that spooky person on the screen ain't waiting for us. I'm about ready to jump out of my skin as it is.
This all promises, at the very least, to be interesting. In a macabre sort of way.
Ну что ж, на этом пока что все. Продолжение следует. Не забываем подписываться на мой канал, ставить лайки, оставлять комментарии. Всем заранее спасибо.